The Patriots preseason continue with a battle versus the Birds on Thursday night. Mike Dussault and Tamara Brown here to break down the Pats shutout versus the Philadelphia Eagles last night. Mike, I know in the first preseason game, we wanted to see a larger sample size of Cam Newton so we could really see him go out there and be consistent. And we saw that last night against the Eagles. In Cam's press conference last night, he said coach wanted them to come out there and execute and be efficient. And that's exactly what we saw. Cam Newton had great pocket presence. He was decisive, and he put together a good string of throws when he was in the game. He went 8 of 9 for 103 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, it was a great performance. I mean, it's what we've been seeing, this summer, the improvement of Cam Newton, more comfortable in the pocket, like you said. I think, just comfortable. I think that was the biggest thing, just looking comfortable within the offense, taking what was there. And I think if Cam Newton does that, I think they're going to be okay on offense. Just make the plays that are there. And I really liked what we saw, especially just a couple plays where he could have just tucked it and ran probably, but instead he stayed within the framework of the offense and let it work for him. I thought the final throw we had of the night to Jacoby Myers, showing some patience, putting it right on Jacoby, giving Jacoby a chance to then turn it up and make a great play to score the touchdown. So really good night from Cam, and I'm excited to see what he can do next week against the Giants.
Agreed. And Mack Jones, after a promising NFL debut against the Washington football team, picked up where he left off as well and came out there. And considering the available personnel, I thought he did a great job too. And a familiar target for him last night was Gunnar Olszewski.
Yeah, another, great night for Mack. Just accruing experience. I think that's the biggest thing. All the kind of different situations that came up last night, I thought, in particular that third and long that he had where he found N'Keal Harry in the middle of the field, the deep shot he took to N'Keal Harry. Again, we're waiting for those to be caught. Hopefully he'll connect on one soon. But again, I thought Matt continues to make progress, continues to look a little bit more comfortable. Now, I still think, Cam's a little bit more experienced, a little bit farther ahead, gives you a better chance to win early in the season for sure. But there's plenty to be excited about with the future of Mack Jones, what he's done here as a rookie. It's been really impressive, and it's been fun just to watch him kind of make those steps. Each time he steps on the field, he seems to get a little bit better.
I know you said there's plenty to be excited about with the quarterbacks, but what about the running back room last night, Mike? I mean, Rhamondre Stevenson, another big game from him with multiple touchdowns as a rookie in a game. And then also Sony Michel. I mean, the receptions that we saw him have last night really saw the progress that he's made in that area.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that's one of the things that stood out the most to me was, Rex Burkhead last year was, kind of a balanced running back, which gave them, the ability to not be one-dimensional when he was on the field. And I think, early on in Sony's career, it was kind of one-dimensional. You knew he was going to run, came out of college with some promise as a patch caster. We just haven't seen it materialize. Last night, I thought, he was excellent catching those underneath screens, had a little bit of a connection with Cam as well. If he's able to kind of take over that balanced role, it really is going to improve how much Sony is able to contribute here. And as you mentioned, I mean, Damien Harris continues to run hard, and Rhamondre Stevenson, he's been really impressive as well. Take away that, that fumble, a little bit of a rookie moment there, and then of course, JJ Taylor, I mean, just running like a bulldozer despite his size. So some tough decisions, not only in terms of the roster, but how are they going to divide up the snaps once they get into the season? But it's a good problem to have with the running back group.
Mike, we pitched a shutout last night. And we can't solely talk about offense when we had the work of our defense last night and what they were able to do. I mean, we saw interceptions, we saw tackle for losses, sacks, fumble recoveries. We saw everything you could hope for from a defensive coordinator's hopes and dreams, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I'd point out another play that really stood out to me was the 3rd and 1 early. I think it was the second series, I believe, with Kyle Van Noy stepping up, Carl Davis making big plays there. Last year, their short run game defense was atrocious. And I thought that was kind of a little play that said, hey, things are different here this year. Love to see Christian Barmore get his feet wet. Let's be honest, though, the Eagles starting Joe Flacco, not a lot of their starters out there. So a little bit of a qualifier there, but what more can you ask from the defense? And like you said, making plays on the ball, forcing turnovers, that's the Patriots defense. If they continue to do that, it's going to be hugely beneficial to the rest of the team and, continue to spark positive things as they have always done. It's been a key part of what goes on here. And you just love to see the ball skills from those guys, especially guys like Harvey Longy, who stepped up with a, fantastic interception. So a lot of guys making plays and hopefully it'll continue next week into the Giants.
You hit the nail on the head when you said it will benefit the rest of the team. Cam Newton actually opened up his press conference by congratulating the defense on how they were able to give the offense impeccable field position. And it's truly a team sport, and both sides of the ball played really well last night. That's it for Mike and I's recap of our second preseason game of the season. We'll be back next week with more training camp coverage when the New York Football Giants come to town. Be sure to tune in for our YouTube show and on Patriots.com.